We were in bad shape. Blackwater was in bad shape. We had that primary team I was talking about in the QRF destroyed. The vehicle was down. We were getting attacked all the time. There were some standoff skirmishes, too long to say here, but there was some standoffs going on between Iraqi guards and Blackwater. You could feel the tension.
Nisour Square, at this point,
Yeah.
you've made it up to team lead. I'd be interested to know on kind of what was the lead up to that day and,
Yeah.
maybe breaking down what that situation is for viewers that may not know.
Well, when I eventually was on the red cell teams in Blackwater in the QRF, Quick Reaction Force, and you had to be kind of invited to that. It wasn't like it was kind of like the special operations, I would say, of Blackwater, if there was one, right? It was kind of a special group of guys, and you were doing a completely different mission than the diplomatic side where you were escorting around people. You were a Quick Reaction Force, a counter assault team. Basically, you're going in and rescuing other teams. I love that. I did the turret gunner for that, which is probably the most dangerous job, being a turret gunner up there. The lead turret gunner and the rear turret gunners are probably the most, you have to have the most responsibility. If something goes bad, you're going to get blamed for it. So I did that for a long time. And then the day I left 26, they got hit. And the lead turret gunner that I had been in for months doing 5-8 missions a day was blown out of his turret. The day I left, dude, you talk about scary business. It was an EFP buried in a watermelon stand with a follow-on attack, a secondary attack, which they like to do. They like to hit you with an IED, an EFP, VBID, and then a secondary small arms attack. That was really bad. Visited those guys in the hospital. That was really sad. But I was moved to be a team leader. And the one thing that I realized being a leader is that you take everything that you hate about a leader and then you do the exact opposite of that. And so one thing that I hated about some of the leaders in Blackwater is they were lazy, or they just held behind. They stayed at the gate. They stayed at the checkpoint, and they had no balls. They acted cowardly. I'm not talking about all of them, man, but a few of them, And I was like, dude, that's disgusting to me. I don't want to be a coward. I don't want to die a coward. And I don't want to see other people die because I was the coward. And so, man, instead of hanging out at the freaking gate as a team leader and holding my guys back, and they're bored out of their mind wanting to go home, why not work them? Why not use the sled dogs? If we used our special forces like I'm talking about, America would be doing quite well. There would be no more cartels. There would be nothing like that. But when you don't use the sled dogs for what they were trained to do and paid to do, then you're going to have a super disgruntled force. And so when I got introduced to Team 23 as the team leader, I circled the guys around. I'll never forget. I said, I'm going to promise you 3 things, guys. I know you don't know me. Maybe you don't like me. Maybe you don't care about me, whatever. And maybe you think I'm a joke like a lot of other team leaders, but I'm going to promise you 3 things in this quick reaction force. And guys started listening in. I said, I'm going to promise you that you're going to eat more than me. You're going to sleep more than me. We're going to eat good chow if we can, And I said, you are going to work. We are going to work. We're not going to sit on the sideline and watch other teams die. Or we're not even going to sit on the sideline if a team is changing a tire. We're not going to sit there and wait till they get hit and be freaking reactive. No, being reactive gets you killed. You can only stay in the pocket and get hit so many times by a boxer. In order to win, you have to eventually, be on the offensive. You've got to throw blows. Yeah. If you stay in the defensive all the time, I tell guys this all the time. If you stay in the defensive, you're not going anywhere. You may think you're moving forward by just like being reactive and taking the hit. No, you got to make huge action steps. And that's what I was willing to do with Blackwater underneath the parameters that were given to me. And it wasn't like the military. You didn't need orders or commands from anybody. You were the end all be all team leader. Now you had 2 admin guys that were former police officers hiding out in their trailers under air condition, eating ice cream, thinking they were running the show, but you were actually running the show. You were in direct communication with the Tactical Operations Center. And so I promised these guys 3 things. They started to love it. We all started to love each other because of it. And we had a freaking badass team. And when I first started leading teams in Blackwater, and I was highly successful at it, when I first started leading them, I was nervous. I was scared. I was like, dude, I don't know everything. And I got to know everything. I got to know all this stuff.
That type imposter syndrome type.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome. And I'll never forget, I had epiphany in my room right before I met that team to go lead them. I thought, man, I got to know everything. And I don't know if I'm equipped for this. And I thought, wait a second. I said, I don't have to know everything. No, a real leader identifies the talented, gifted guys, and he utilizes their gifts. And in return, it makes the whole team run excellent. And in return for that, the team leader looks amazing for that. And so that's exactly what I did. My tactical commander, Corey Wainscott, who later died, came in my room with all these maps. He said, hey, Haas, where do you want to go tomorrow? I said, what do you mean where do I want to go, man? I said, put those up on the wall. I said, you've been here for 3 years. I know you're squared away, and I know you want to do this job. Where do you want to go tomorrow? How do you want to plan it out? The tertiary, the primary, the secondary, tertiary routes. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious, man. He goes, I've never been allowed to do this. Like they were all, the team leaders before me always wanted to micromanage me. I said, bro, it's all yours. And man, he was the baddest dude on the planet when it comes to tactical route planning. That was his gift, not mine, Give me a map. I'm like turning around, like, what the heck is this? What the, and so I let him have full charge over that. Another guy came to me and said, hey, Haas, man, we need this much ammo. Da, 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 da. I said, go do it. He goes, really? I can do this? I said, yeah. And so that started working out real well. But that leads to the Nisour Square. We were doing missions. We were having a lot of success. We were rescuing guys. I was brought in by the leadership in Blackwater, and they told me, Haas, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. This is badass. You're making us look good. Yeah, you're making us look good. You don't have to ask for permission for anything. Do exactly what you've been doing. Keep going out. I said, awesome. I said, great. The very next day, we were in bad shape. Blackwater was in bad shape. We had that primary team I was talking about in the QRF destroyed. The vehicle was down. We were getting attacked all the time. There were some standoff skirmishes, too long to say here, but there was some standoffs going on between Iraqi guards and Blackwater. You could feel the tension.
Yeah, and also you guys that's when Blackwater 2 started getting like politically talked about here in the U.S. in terms
politically talked about.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of stuff, heat, and you could just feel an ominous dark cloud over Blackwater. Like any day now, a lot of dudes are going to get killed, and things are just going to blow up, like literally. And so I had been hit by some small fragmentation by this little grenade battle I was in a couple days before. And so I was all wrapped up and bandaged up, and they were debating whether I should go home or stuff, go take a look at it. And I'm sitting in the chow hall. I'll never forget. I had my Coke float. I just sat down. I was worn out, bro. We were going out all the time. And I just remember the windows in the chow hall just vexing, like boom, like that. Like a plane under big turbulence, just vex. Have you ever been in a plane like that? And I was like, dang, man, that was a big bomb, a VBID, an IED. Something just went off in the distance, real close to the compound. And we're monitoring the radios. We're the 911 service. We're the QRF for these guys. And it was our team. And they were like, contact. We've just been hit, something along those lines. And so I can only assume, as the team leader of this quick reaction force with the means and capability, with thousands of rounds of ammo, with all these upgunners and machine guns and manpower, I can only assume that one of our Blackwater teams has been hit via seeing black smoke and fire in the distance, the vexing of the windows of the chow hall, and then contact, we've been hit on the radio.
Yeah.
So knowing all that, I limp to the trucks. The guys run out there. We load up. We're already on standby. We race out to the scene. And we get to the Nisour traffic circle, and we have to go counterflow. We have to go inside. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And the sun was in my eyes. I couldn't see much, but I had all these maps and this radio. I'm talking to Air. I'm talking to the Tactical Operations Center. And they later said I was too calm on the radio, so they didn't send help. And I just thought, dude, panic is contagious. So I learned that wasn't me being calm. I was just trying to slow my voice down and act like chill. Hey, we're getting attacked right now. We're in a full-on engagement. Please send help. Oh, he's too calm. So big engagement happened. Can't talk about much what happened. And the reason is legal stuff. But anyways, we end up coming back, and I end up seeing it on CNN on my little TV in my room. We're sitting there, and I'm like, dude, it's over. Because they were saying that 17 civilians got killed. It was this massive Baghdad's Bloody Sunday. It was like the My Lai massacre. And I'm thinking, what just happened, man? I was blown away. I was shocked, actually. I was kind of in shock for a while about it. And then they sent me home and some other guys. I was ready to come home anyways. I was so tired of it, so tired of war. Just done, man. 4 years is my permanent mailing address there, Mission after mission, death, destruction, war.
At the
apex. From late 2004 to 2008, I was there. Late 2007, sorry. And so I came home. It was all over CNN, all over the news. I got a lawyer, and every lawyer that I spoke to said, Jimmy, don't worry. There's absolutely nothing you can do. But it was an absolutely highly politicized event with Biden right at the center. And I think Biden was vice president. Biden was vice president, and they called him the Biden Four, the Blackwater Four. And they basically hung us out to dry. They went after the 4 guys that they knew had shot because they were the Turk gunners. So they vehemently went after them. The FBI came to my house. I refused to speak to them. That pissed them off. But they just didn't have enough on me. And the only thing that I could do to get rid of the pain of the war was just to become a beast, a monster in myself. I was drinking hardcore. I was taking fentanyl that the pain management doctors were giving me, and Loratab, just get 150 at a time, using them for a few weeks and then going to get more and just abusing it, drinking Jack every day. And that moment when I was enthralled in the alcohol and drugs and thinking about these guys that were being prosecuted for Blackwater and my own situation and the SEALs, the Navy SEALs closing on me, that door was closing. I was getting older and it seemed impossible, because all these legal things, and my lawyer said they're going to come down on you now. I wouldn't do the SEALs, Jimmy, because all this stuff is going to unfold on you, and all this. And so it was like doom and gloom all the time. And the only reason why I joined the Marine Corps in the first place was basically to die for my country. I know that's like a little brainwashed, a little crazy, but that's my type of thinking. And then all I ever wanted to do was be part of my team, serve my country, do something important.
Look out for the guys around you.
Look out for the guys, help people. I help kids in Blackwater. I give them like candy and water and all kinds of stuff all the time and save people. We saved a lot of people in Blackwater. A lot of people we saved, a lot of military and civilians, tons of people we saved. And now you come home and the enemy always makes you the exact opposite of who you really are. So you're a fraud. Well, you actually are very generous and you help people. You're a monster killer of innocent people. Well, you actually saved a lot of innocent people. And so that's exactly how we were portrayed as the Blackwater guys and myself. And, but I said, you know what? I'm going to die anyways. I'm going to die taking this fentanyl and these drugs and this alcohol. My dreams closed on me. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go to the ends of the earth. And so I put down everything one day. I flushed it. The switch flipped. And I just started running outside till I threw up. And I washed and repeat that. I did that every single day until I started getting in a little shape, better shape. And I went all out for the SEALs and I threaded the needle. The Blackwater case was dismissed as I was getting accepted into the SEALs. So I never had to lie, never had to say, oh, there's nothing going on. Literally the case was dismissed.